Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Real Talk, the podcast where we talk about life, ideas, and things that actually matter. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah.
Okay, quick question for you guys. When you listen to English, do you sometimes understand the words, but still feel lost?
Like, people speak too fast, or they use phrases you've never learned in school.
If that sounds familiar, this podcast is for you.
We created this for English learners around B1 to B2 level who want to understand real conversations.
Not slow textbook English.
Real English. The way people actually talk.
You'll hear natural phrases, pauses, laughter, even interruptions.
So, here's our tip. First, just listen. Don't stop the video every time you hear a new word.
Try to follow the idea of the conversation.
And today's topic?
Today's topic, and this is a big one, is it better to be rich or to be happy? A classic question. People have argued about this forever. So Sarah, let me ask you directly. Rich or happy? Which one would you choose?
Okay, so I would choose happy. But, and this is important, I think a little bit of money is part of being happy. You know what I mean? Like, if you have zero money, if you can't pay rent, if you're stressed about food, you can't really be happy.
That's fair. That's a really good point.
So it's not like money is completely separate from happiness. But once you have enough, like once your basic needs are covered, I think more money doesn't really give you more happiness.
Okay. And what does enough mean to you?
Good question. For me, I think enough means I can pay my bills, I can go out for dinner sometimes, I can travel once a year, maybe. I don't need a yacht. I don't need a private jet.
But what if someone offered you that? The yacht, the jet, the whole thing?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to the yacht. But seriously, I think having a lot of money brings a lot of problems too. Like, you start to wonder, do people like me or for my money? You can't trust people as easily.
Yeah, that's actually something I've read about. Rich people often report feeling quite lonely.
Exactly. And loneliness is one of the worst feelings there is. Okay, so there's actually some research on this. Have you heard about it?
You mean the studies about money and happiness?
Yeah. So there was this famous study, I think it was from Princeton University, and they found that up to a certain income level, more money does make you happier. But after that point, it kind of stops.
I think the number they used was like $75,000 a year. After that, more money didn't really change how happy people felt day to day.
Exactly. And that was like 10, 15 years ago. So maybe the number is higher now because of inflation. But the idea is the same.
But here's what I find interesting. Experiences make people happier than things. Like, if you spend money on a vacation with your family, you'll feel happier than if you buy a new TV.
Oh, 100%. I can think of so many examples from my own life. Like, last year, I went to Portugal with my two best friends. We didn't stay in a fancy hotel, we cooked our own food, we walked everywhere. And it was one of the best weeks of my life.
See, that's the thing. The memories stay with you. The TV, you forget about it in a week.
Totally. And there's something about sharing an experience with people you love that just, it fills you up, you know?
But okay, devil's advocate for a second. Let's say you're sick. Like really sick. And you need expensive medical treatment. Doesn't money literally save your life in that situation?
Okay, that's a really fair point. And yes, absolutely. Money can save your life. Money can give your kids better education. Money can give you options that poor people don't have.
Right. So it's not like money is evil or useless.
No, of course not. Money is a tool. It's how you use it that matters.
Okay, I like that. Money is a tool. I share something personal?
Please.
So a few years ago, I had a job that paid really well.
Oh, yeah? What kind of job?
Corporate sales. Big company. Good salary, good bonuses. But I worked like 60, sometimes 70 hours a week.
Oh, no.
And I remember, there was this one night. I'm sitting at my desk at 11 p.m. My girlfriend at the time calls me and says, "Are you coming home?" And I said, "I'll be there in an hour." And she said, and I'll never forget this, she said, "You're always an hour away."
Wow. Did you leave the job?
Eventually, yeah. I took a pay cut. But honestly, my life got so much better.
See, that's a perfect example. You chose happiness over money, and it worked.
It did. But I also want to be honest, I could afford to take that pay cut. I didn't have kids at the time. Not everyone has that choice.
That's such an important point. The whole money versus happiness debate is kind of a privilege. If you're really struggling financially, you don't have the luxury of saying, "Oh, I'll just be happy with less."
Exactly. And I think sometimes rich people, or even people who are comfortable, forget that. They say things like money can't buy happiness, but they've never really been without it.
Yes, like it's easy to say money doesn't matter when you have it.
Okay, I want to push back on something you said earlier.
Uh-oh.
You said once your basic needs are covered, more money doesn't make you happier.
Yeah, I believe that.
But I actually think that's a little too simple. Because basic needs means different things for different people. Like, for someone in a developing country, basic needs might mean clean water and food. For someone in New York City, basic needs include a safe apartment, health insurance, good schools for their kids.
Okay, that's fair.
So the enough money number is completely different depending on where you live and what your situation is.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. The number is different for everyone. But my point is, for each person, there is a point where more money stops helping. You know?
Maybe. But I'd also argue that having more money gives you more freedom. And freedom is a big part of happiness.
That's interesting. Say more about that.
Like, if you have a lot of money, you don't have to work a job you hate. You can say no to things that don't align with your values. You can spend your time how you want.
Okay, I actually agree with that. Financial freedom is a real thing, and it does lead to more happiness.
So maybe we're saying the same thing in different ways?
Maybe. Maybe the real answer is, you need enough money to have freedom. But after that, happiness comes from other things. Relationships, purpose, health.
I think that's pretty close to the truth.
Okay, so if it's not just money, what actually makes people happy? What do you think?
I think it's feeling like my life has meaning. Like I'm doing something that matters.
Ooh, meaning. Yes, I think that's huge.
And also, and this sounds simple, but just good relationships. People who you can call at 2 a.m. when something goes wrong.
That's such a specific number. 2 a.m.
You know what I mean. People who are really there for you.
I think for me, happiness is about feeling present. Like actually being in my life, not just watching it go by. I think that's something I really struggle with. I'm always planning the next thing, worrying about the future.
Oh, I do that too.
And I notice that my happiest moments are when I stop doing that. When I'm just sitting with a friend, laughing, or walking outside and noticing the trees. That sounds really cheesy, I know.
It sounds true.
Thanks. I also think, and this might be controversial, but I think helping other people is one of the biggest sources of happiness.
That's not controversial. I think most people would agree with that.
Yeah, but people don't do it enough. Like, research shows that spending money on other people makes you happier than spending it on yourself.
Wait, really?
Yes, there was a study where they gave people money and said, spend this on yourself or spend it on someone else. And the people who spent it on others reported feeling happier.
That's wild. And kind of beautiful.
Right? So maybe the answer to rich or happy is use your money to help people, and you'll get both.
What's your final answer, Sarah? Rich or happy?
Happy. Final answer. But I want enough money to feel free. Not rich, just free.
I think I say the same. Happy, but I want to stop worrying about money.
We basically agree.
We do. Which is a little boring for a podcast, honestly.
Sorry, listeners.
But I hope this got you thinking, because these questions, what is happiness? What is enough? What really matters in life? These are questions worth asking.
And if you're learning English, I hope this felt like a real conversation. Because it was. We didn't plan most of this. We just talked.
That's the best way to learn, by the way, not just grammar rules, but actually listening to how people think and speak in real life.
So thank you so much for listening to Real Talk. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who's learning English.
And leave us a comment. We read every single one. Tell us, what do you think? Is it better to be rich or happy? Or is there another option we missed?
We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, I'm Mike.
I'm Sarah.